All right, you ready?
I was
5,
born.
4, 3. What up, y'all? Welcome to Here's the Thing. I'm Kevonstage. She's
That chick Angel.
Welcome to another podcast episode. Smash that notification button. Bangers, all 2021. Announcements. Ohio.
Yeah.
We are coming.
We're going to be
inside.
Columbus. Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
Cincinnati.
You want me to pull the thing up?
Tuesday. I got it memorized.
Tuesday. Pull it up on a Tuesday.
Wednesday, Indianapolis. 2 shows. First show sold out already. Second show, there's like 8 tickets left.
Wait. So in Cincinnati, we only doing one show that day? Oh, my God.
1 in Cincinnati, 2 in Indianapolis. First is sold out. Thursday will be Toledo, which is already sold out. Friday and Saturday will be Cleveland Rocks. Pittsburgh. Well, Pittsburgh already sold out, but the show is there.
We going to be in the pits.
So come, because next year it's going to be one of those cities. Okay, maybe Columbus, maybe Cleveland, depends. We ain't coming to all 7 of those.
We are abandoning our families.
Are there comps for Cleveland? I need some comps for Cleveland.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that after.
Who you know? Bron, Kevin Love.
No, Chris Parker from remember the dude used to work at the Clippers who brought.
He works for the Cavs now.
The Bird? No, he's from Cleveland though.
Oh.
But anyway, he brought the Bird guy down.
Yeah, I remember Josh.
That was a
the
good time.
Condor.
Remember he came in. He was doing the.
I gotta get comps for Indianapolis, but we're excited to see you guys.
We're excited to see you all.
Yes.
Actually, Detroit. For those who don't understand, Detroit, I wanted to go, but so did every other black comedian, and because I only had basically July through the end of the year, the clubs in Detroit were already booked, so I won't make that mistake again. Matter of fact, the Midwest city, Chicago and Detroit, will never be missed again.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys might end up having to go to Detroit. So don't worry. I told my people I can never not go to Detroit. Detroit and Nashville are the 2 cities that this year the most people were like, how dare you?
And even
though I had just went to Nashville right before the last time.
They said we don't care about
nobody want to hear all that.
Time.
You come to Nashville every time.
Yeah,
Nashville,
you got
Detroit,
new jokes.
You guys have said it in comments of everything else, even not around the show. That's what we look for because we know it's going to get sold. So anyway, all right. Tragic story.
Yes, this is
very
sad.
Complex and tragic. Over the weekend, I don't even know how to tell it in order, but I'll tell you the headline. At Astroworld, which is Travis Scott's festival.
Oh, it is his own festival.
Astroworld is his festival.
Oh, wow.
Held in Houston, where Astroworld used to be. He then flipped. Oh, this one actually was at
NRG Park. Yeah.
That's another.
One article called it Lapapalooza.
No.
They just did it wrong.
They just didn't know.
No, there was actually
his own festival.
There's a lot of misinformation on
Okay.
this.
A lot of misinformation.
Also equally complicated. Go ahead.
So at Astroworld, 8 people died from what they are calling crowd surges. Mm-hmm. I believe most of 8 people died, and I think up to like 300 were injured, seriously injured enough to go to the hospital.
Yes.
From what's basically called crowd surges, which is basically the entire crowd pushing towards one area. In this case, it was towards the front of the stage, and then a subsequent stampede.
Yeah.
Right. People were trampled, stepped on, cardiac arrest. I imagine from lack of breath and their heart working too hard. Deaths from as young as I believe 14 to 27.
27, yep.
So I didn't know this until Josh said. I was like, how is a 14-year-old at this concert? This is an all ages concert, all ages and general admission.
Yeah,
from what I understand. So we were on the road. We were like watching a lot of stuff happening. And in my opinion, and I want to hear from Josh and Angel. This is a culmination of a lot of bad decisions and improper setup, right? One of those bad decisions or one of those constants is Travis himself encouraging rage type behavior, right? I didn't know this, right? I'm not familiar with Travis Scott like that.
Right.
so I watched a little bit of his documentary, and I saw his like growth and rages, and I just was like, I'm also not interested in this. But he has a history of these events at his concerts. He's been arrested before for inciting a riot at his concert. There's a video of him. He jumped into the crowd at another show of his. Jumped to a crowd. Somebody tried to grab his shoe, and he like telling the audience to beat that person up. Yeah. Right. He was tweeting stuff before, like, because Astroworld sold out back in May, and he tweeted like, nah, but the real one's still gonna find a way to get in.
He said the little wildlings,
the wild ones gonna find a way to get in. So part of the issue, Josh found a lot of this because Josh is in the music industry.
Man,
we
were watching Drake's performance.
Yes,
I had it pulled up in the green room.
So the kids, they like storm before Astroworld even begins. They like storm the gates. Security was like one dude, maybe two dudes, and there's just like people pouring in, right? So it's over 50,000 people, I believe they said, pretty much standing in one area. There's no seats, there's no stadium risers.
They're
like, just
usually when it comes to sections in those festivals, like 85 to 90% of the layout is built for general admission, which is the sea of people that you see, sometimes off tucked to the left or to the right, away from it with separate entrances and its own barricades. It's like the VIP. And then sometimes there's tiers of VIP where there's even like subsections within that too.
But so of the 50,000, it's safe to say 40,000, 45,000
absolutely
are standing
shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder. Stuck, which for me personally is a nightmare.
With yards of people between them and opening.
Like, I don't even like going to the mall in Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Crowds that large, I'm always like, bro, if something goes off, I don't want to feel like I can't move. You know what I mean?
I was at Rolling Loud Miami, what was that, 2018 or 19, where there was a gun scare. And like, even in the moment where you're like, okay, that could have been, or that could have been fireworks, and you just see a sea of people like rushing to get out, you don't think about anything but to react at that point.
So, and but you can't, imagine you want to get out and you can't move.
Right.
Or people are pushing you. So go ahead, Angel, we'll hear from you, then we'll hear from Josh.
What do you want to hear from me? You said so much. What you want to say?
Your initial thoughts when you heard it.
My initial thoughts was, okay, what's going on? Like yourself, I'm not one that follows Travis Scott. I knew that he had a child by one of the Jenner girls, and I knew he was a musician. But if you asked me to pinpoint songs to him, I'd be like, I did not know.
Yeah.
So my initial reaction of, there are people dead at a music festival and there were no guns? That was the first like, wait a minute, what?
Yes.
So you're saying this is something due to people, I don't want to say not being aware of the consequences of their actions, but more so people just being reckless. This is insane. As I have researched as we got towards today to figure out like what all happened, it was a breakdown of responsibility on several people's part. Travis Scott is not off the hook of being one of those people that could have been responsible. I can't say, based off of his previous behavior, I would say he is someone that enjoys getting people riled up, enjoys people being able to behave in their most, radical self, and being someone who is up on a stage, most of the time safe, also someone who has access to a lot of money. Your mistakes can easily be fixed. When you are encouraging that for people who are regular folk that don't have the access to the money, who aren't in a safe place, who don't have security, their actions, there are bigger repercussions that can happen to their actions. Encouraging someone to jump off of a balcony, like you, and maybe in his mind he thinks the most gonna happen, he gonna break his leg or break his arm, but it's just like, no, that this dude could die. So the same way with this concert. Not that at that moment he was like, everybody run to the stage, but encouraging people to break in or sneak into this festival. I've been to several concerts, mostly Beyonce's. These people work in security. they're not getting paid a whole lot of money to care that much.
And a lot of times it's their first day working all together with a crew like that too. Everybody's learning, especially the first day of a festival. A lot of times protocols from the first to second day change completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're looking at, I think they said there was about 500 security, 500 to 50,000. That is not, you're saying one person to every 1,000 people or something like that.
And where the security is placed too, for the most part.
You
That
can't,
math,
I
I
can't
can't do.
corral 4
A
kids
lot of
on my
times
own
that
half the time.
security isn't, they like their job's not to be in the crowd, but to
Right.
be in the barricades in the pit, what they call it, like where the photo pit is, in between the stage and the crowd. They're within that like little perimeter, so if nobody tries to jump over and then go on stage and stuff
Right.
like that, they're not gonna be walking around patrolling. Hey, are you okay? Hey, are you
Right.
okay?
They're not qualified to be able to handle that many people, nor would I believe that they are capable of handling that many people or making executive decisions that would actually change the outcome of anything. I do believe that Travis and the people, the promoters, anybody who actually had a say in shutting things down, missed an opportunity to save a bunch of people's lives. But I will also say that I'm not going to fully put Travis knew exactly what was happening. He knew them people were dying left and
Yeah.
right. I will say I don't think he understood truly the consequences of him not taking the moment seriously when it was
Yeah.
happening, because I did see footage of him pausing for paramedics to get people.
Yep.
But it didn't seem like he understood, like, no, if this continues, people are going to start dropping like flies, dead, not passed out, but
Right.
like
Yeah.
perished.
So there's a lot of complex thing. Well, actually, go ahead, Josh.
My initial thoughts were, unfortunately, I didn't hear about any of this until I woke up in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing, I thought like Angel thought that there would be some kind of violent act that took place for 8 people to have died. But what's sad is once I saw a crowd surging based off of Travis's history, I was like, dang, I could believe this. Because a lot of times at festivals, right, sometimes the set times would overlap. So if a lot of people are at, call it stage B, and Travis is at stage A and he starts at 9:15, stage B doesn't end until 9:20. Whoever act on there, call it Drake was there, for example, but he wasn't. In order to like, okay, I want to catch the last song here, a pod of people from that stage might run to stage A to try and catch the earliest point of the set to try and like see the most of it.
Got
In that case, a lot of people that are already at the front, when people are rushing through, they're constantly pushing because they want to
Pushing.
get the ones in the back. Call it like 5,000 people coming from a separate area, which is probably
Oh,
more
snap.
at that point too. They're running up to this other stage, trying to get as close as they can just to get the best view because they came in late, right? And the repercussion of that is everybody just gets like
compressed.
like an accordion, just slowly
Yeah.
pushed up to the front. So where the people at the very front are just literally against a barricade that's like probably chest high that they're already like resting on, just getting compressed. And I've been in the photo pit when some of that's happened. And security, if they do see that, or event staff, if they see that, they'll call them out and then they'll pull them over the barricade into the photo pit and then walk them around.
But that's why there's always that little gap when people
Yes,
are being passed
that's
out.
technically for
That's usually where you're standing.
yes,
Yeah.
that's 100%.
Oh,
where I'm
I
standing.
always. So if you're, I mean, I guess there's no rows, but if you were like 10 people back,
Well, that's
and you
what I'm
passed
saying.
out, there's no way for
that's
anybody to get
only-
to you.
That's only as far as you could see. A lot of
Right.
times
Yeah.
you can't see, like you said, more than 10 people back. And then same thing goes for Travis too. Like a lot of times, unless it's a daytime festival, he can't see more than 50 yards past if there's no light on the crowd, right?
Yeah.
So-
that much I know from too from performing.
Yeah, like
You
I
can't see-
sometimes
if it's
can't
dark-
see past the front, the people
Yeah.
I'm talking to in the front row.
Now, I'm
Yeah.
not saying he doesn't take partial responsibility for this, 'cause
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
he absolutely needs to. But when that happens, and even in some of the videos, right, you can hear some of the people screaming, and they're close to the microphone, so you can hear it there. Travis may or may not be able to hear it. A lot of times, these performers with that scale have in-ear
In-ear monitors,
so
yeah.
they
Yeah.
can't hear anything that's going out other than what music's coming directly into there. A lot of times, it's cranked all the way up
Mm-hmm.
because the crowd's so loud, or you don't want to hear echoed from different parts of the area coming back,
Yeah.
so they can hear the music, right? So, and then I saw a lot of times tweeted or just like through some quote tweets of like, well, Travis didn't stop performing when he saw emergency vehicles coming through. Those vehicles are always busting through festivals left and right.
Listen, we watched Michael
crazy.
Jackson. There was a man who jumped on his crane. That crane was going up in the air. He was doing the Titanic.
Oh no.
Near far. Michael did not stop singing. He held on to him. He was like, look in the mirror. Sit back. That man
would have been dead if Michael Jackson
would have
let
failed.
go.
Michael could have literally stopped singing and said, bring the thing down, get him off. He was like, I'm not going to stop the show, but I'm hoping that he's okay. So it's this behavior of the show must go on is not brand new. Travis is not the first artist to do that. It's just we have never seen the repercussions go this far for not
this
stopping.
scale. And that's the thing is like in I can assume in Travis's mind if he sees people coming in to get helped out, or if he sees something and he slows the show down to try and get them help, he's thinking it's routine as usual. Nothing has ever gotten to the point where people have died. One person has died.
Right. And that's the thing that's so there was videos of like it was a girl and a dude. They had climbed on the like
where the camera
was, and they were like, yo, like stop the show. Somebody's back there. And the cameraman was like, girl, get down. What do you get down? Like, this is not safe up here. Get down. And the crowd behind him, behind them was like, hey man, shut up. Like the show's going on. And the dude was like, man, basically you shut up.
I would not have, I can completely empathize for that man because I wouldn't have been believing. I've been like, you are a high young lady. You are on drugs. You saying somebody's dead. It's probably somebody who is high.
Yeah.
And you're not about to have me lose my job. First of all, I have no authority to stop the show.
Right.
Hey, camera 2, turn off. Like I felt for her because she did the best she could do.
Yeah.
I felt for the cameraman because I was like, if I was in the same predicament and I was like, this is my job, they're paying me as a contractor to do this, I would not be like, you 18 or 20-year-old white lady, you know what you talking about.
Right.
I've been like, get off of here before you get me in trouble. We're going to take a break for an ad. I'm not going to do a transition while we're talking about something this heavy. And that ad is for Brooklinen. It has been a long, tough couple years. I mean, it just don't seem to want to stop. Now do it. But you deserve the rest. You deserve relaxation and you deserve comfort. Fall into comfort and make it a top priority this season. And who's more of an expert in comfort than Brooklinen? I actually have Brooklinen sheets. They are the best sheets we have. It feels as though I'm in a top quality hotel when I put on my Brooklinen sheets. They're very crisp. They are comfortable. We are bougie when it comes to the sheets. I'm just going to be honest. We like for things to feel, 1, breathable, and 2, really, really soft. And you can get both of those. And the patterns and the colors, they are very like modern and luxe, so you're able to get that feeling of quality and comfort all together. They also have plush absorbent towels, cozy robes, and comfy loungewear that you'll want to put on and never take off. We're so confident in their core products, and they are as well. They come with a 365-day warranty, and their fans are so confident too that Brooklinen has received over 75,000 5-star reviews and counting. Again, I have 2 sets of sheets from one of their collections. It's one of their like higher end collections. It's like their hotel collection. They're white with beautiful black lines in them. It looks really, really crisp when you're trying to like just elevate the way your room looks. So give yourself the comfort, refresh you deserve, and get it for less at Brooklinen. Let me say this before I finish the CTA. That's what I love about coming home from this tour is getting in my bed and in my good sheets, okay? Mm-hmm. Go to brooklinen.com and use promo code SK to get $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. That's BROOKLINEN.com and enter promo code SK for $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. That's brooklinen.com, promo code SK.
So we were at the point of the production person. A lot of people were blaming him. The thing about production, and listen, I don't think any one in order for a tragedy of this magnitude, there's more than one person at fault, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, well, I'll get to that in a second. So people are like, why did the cameraman stop the show on his walkie-talkie? So he also is in headphones, and in his headphones, he's hearing camera 2 push in, camera this. So he's trying not to get fired. He's trying to keep his shot on, and he might not even be really listening to this girl. He might just be concerned of if she falls and something happens to her, I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, 100.
So he's probably not listening to what she's saying. And like Josh is saying, this is the environment of festivals,
Yes.
right? Not just Travis Scott's. Like, people are always passing out at festivals, emergency vehicles coming through. So he's probably like, what's unusual is you getting up on this thing. Because on the first video, I didn't realize what she was saying. No. It took a couple of times for me. I was like, man, these fans are, because the fans were doing crazy stuff.
Right,
Already. Like,
It's
there was one where
consistent.
the emergency vehicle was an ATV. Josh sent me this video. And the fans basically like jumped on it and like prevented it from going on. So I was like, but then it was like, no, these two people were like, hey man, you need to tell somebody. And these walkies are, headsets are two-way, but him telling the guy who's live cutting that live cutting person is not on the same frequency as the emergency vehicles. Right. Here's the issue. One of the bigger issues. The Houston PD guy, the head of the Houston PD, said he told Travis before the show, yo, this situation is not like usual. You guys are like the security of 50,000 people, 50,000 tickets sold, right? To 500 people is one thing, but that's one police officer to what? I don't know the ratio. 50, 500. I'm not good at math.
It's not enough. Whatever it is.
Whatever it is not enough. Even if they were displaced, in the right place. But if you're used to this and you're not used to stopping, because he did stop it a couple of times, but not like people saying stop the show weren't saying stop the show like until this person is good. They're saying, hey,
halt the show
stop.
completely. Yeah.
So the head of the HPD was like, Travis, you like, bruh, this is dangerous. And he was saying, if Travis was like, hey, stop, let the emergency people through, let this all happen, then it would have been less intense.
Yes.
Basically. But to Josh's point, and the larger issue is if you have concerts like this all the time and this is your vibe, then people and you're encouraging it through Twitter, through previous shows. Like we were talking to somebody in Boston, and he was telling us, I think we talked about something before. He was like, the audience that comes to comedy shows represents the energy of the artist.
Come on,
So
exactly.
I'm not gonna say the name, but he was like, when an angry comedian performs,
Right.
the audience, like, Josh, you're gonna be the one that has to edit it out. But he was like, when an angry comedian performs, the angry audience people come. They're usually meaner to service. It's just bad energy surrounding.
They're heckling. They're
more likely to heckle. They're all that stuff. He was like, when you came, your audience was
Pleasant,
calm, like,
happy.
Yeah, like an R&B event isn't gonna have the same energy as Travis Scott or
you go to a
rock.
her concert versus
A her
Travis.
concert.
Yeah.
Frankie Beverly and Maze. Whole bunch of people
We
meet
ain't,
Angel's
that ain't gonna
age.
happen. That's not,
Hey,
be a
first
whole
of
bunch
all,
of
there's
two-stepping.
too many people in here.
Right.
Y'all need to
we
back
can't,
up.
We can't get a proper two-step
Yeah,
in with everybody shoulder to
seriously.
shoulder.
there might be an ambulance, but it's gonna be that person's time. It's not gonna be
Stop
that
it,
we
Angel.
did something crazy.
Yeah.
It's somebody did the right math. I was saying 1,000. It's only 100 to every person, but that's still a lot of people.
So that's one police officer versus every 100 people.
Yeah.
Right? So that's part of it. And the other issue is that's too many people, even under normal circumstances. Like if Travis wasn't, let's rage, because one time somebody's dying way in the back and Travis is like, I want to make the ground shake. Well, it's like Bone Crusher. You remember how Bone Crusher used to make you want to be like, outside of the club. You're a little bit more angry. You know what I'm saying? And then you add on that drug use, alcohol, like people who are who are not sober, right?
That have been there
And
all
then-
day.
And then you add. Oh, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was gonna say dehydration.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a mix of everything to where you're at the point of the last person of the show where you're just like, I just want to be here for this. I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted. I got no strength, period.
But see, you got old man mentality. You dealing with young folk in this audience. People who don't have a lot to lose.
Right.
People who think they're invincible. Like, I would never jump on an ATV emergency vehicle. I would not think, that's the way to turn up. I'd be like, is there a place I can sit? I done packed my flats and they done worn out.
The fact that you pack flats means you're not going to be at a festival.
When
I see festival stuff, not even Travis Scott, Beyonce at Coachella, I be like, them people be there all day.
All day.
In porta potties?
Listen, no.
Nowhere to sit in the middle of the desert?
No.
Hot? This sounds like the worst experience. This is just me, Kevin, not even bougie Kevin. My whole life, I need my seat with the number on that I sit in.
That is what I prefer.
I need this. I need to be able to be. Listen, when I be at them concerts, first of all, save boy. I did not know that in concerts you can smoke weed.
Oh, especially in LA?
Outdoor
in LA?
concerts.
No, in.
Inside.
You can.
When did that start? That's just supposed to just start.
No,
Angel, it's been
Angel.
a couple years. You could take a rolled blunt in your pocket and they'll be like, pat down. Okay, you're good.
Now you're not supposed to.
I was about to say, I thought you meant legally.
No,
I was
not
like,
legally.
nah, I done been to enough concerts.
That's
that is
how.
not.
That's how I felt. Now I went to at All Deaf first because I had to go to something for work. I said, these young men and women is smoking prior to this being legal. When we saw Justin Timberlake, people just sparking up. I was like, this smoke done got on me. Jesus.
He was man in the backwoods.
Marcus made somebody put theirs out when I was pregnant with, I don't know who I was pregnant with.
Now here's what's even
I was
worse
pregnant with a child.
for
I just don't know.
Travis. His former manager, made this video that's.
His former manager sounds like a newscaster.
Yeah.
I said,
let's just say it's not.
With his golds in.
I know.
He looks like he worked at Staples.
It's not.
Who was his last
glowing.
manager? What's his name?
Shane Morton or
Shane Morris.
Morris. Okay.
Travis Scott is the worst person I worked with in my entire career in music. 8 people are dead and hundreds more injured after Travis Scott's callous, reckless behavior at Astroworld. And I hate to be the one saying this, but I saw this coming and I tried to tell everyone. The story that D-Dot is telling is true. I'm Travis Scott's former manager. I'm the one who had a seizure, and I'm the one that he left for dead in a basement in Los Angeles. I originally told my account in 2013, and then it recirculated on Reddit about 6 years ago. The stories coming out of Astroworld and all the videos documenting the evidence are quite clear, and they align with what I know about Travis Scott. When he sees people in harm or danger, he tends to only continue thinking about himself. And to make it worse, he's been doing this for years at other concerts. I could go on and on about the theft of sessions, assault, and all the lies that he's told in his career.
It just ends abruptly there. Now, obviously, former manager having that opinion about Travis scorned.
Some animosities.
Little animosity there. But there's no animosity in them arrests those prior concerts.
Uh-huh.
Like that. This is not the first time that this has happened. This is just probably the most egregious.
Yeah, the worst of them all.
The worst of them all. Now, Travis gave the money back. They canceled day 2. Or was it?
They canceled all the days.
They canceled the.
It was a 2-day festival. The second day was canceled the morning the news came out.
Oh, I thought it was a 3-day festival.
Okay, so they canceled that. He gave all the tickets back to everybody who came on day 1. He's paying for the funerals of the people. And what was it about mental health?
Partnered with BetterHelp, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, he partnered with BetterHelp.
He should have partnered with Talkspace, because let me tell you, they're the ones that are going to give you the type of mental health expert to really get you to a place where you are feeling good about yourself, where you're able to open up about your fears and work through them. And we are grateful for Talkspace for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. A lot of times people have they have hangups about talking about their fears to someone, especially someone they know. And then add on to it a stranger, you really feel like, I don't know if I could do this. And with people you feel like they might judge you or look at you differently. However, meeting with a therapist to work on your own mental health is just as helpful as hiring a personal trainer to work on your physical health. And the positive impact can be just as life-changing. And unlike traditional therapy, you can message your therapist anytime via text, video, or voice. It's 100% secure and stigma-free, the way therapy should be. Let me tell you, Talkspace is so simple and so easy to use. We signed up. We said we wanted to do couples therapy, and literally the next day they had us assigned to a therapist, and we got all of the dates and times she was available to meet with us. It was truly one of the most simple things, because a lot of times when you get up the nerve to actually take your mental health seriously and find a therapist, it can feel like just an uphill battle just to find a therapist to work with. I remember when I was trying to go the traditional route a couple of years ago, it took at least a month of me researching, trying to find someone that took my insurance, all this other hoopla, where with Talkspace, literally in under 48 hours, I was able to be paired with a therapist and given dates and times in which we could meet with her. At Talkspace, your privacy and security are their number one priority. The app puts you in a private room with just you and your therapist. Send messages 24/7 and get replies throughout the day. No need to wait for a weekly appointment. So don't leave your mental health to chance or the amateur advice of well-meaning friends and family. Talk to someone who is trained to help you make lasting progress. Join Talkspace today and start moving forward with a single message. Visit Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month when you use the promo code CREW with a K.
Crew with a K.
At sign up. That's $100 off at Talkspace.com. Promo code CREW with a K.
Crew with a K.
And again, while we are talking about something really tragic, I actually think that this sponsor is the perfect time to bring them up, and that is Policy Genius. It's the holiday season. We're running around like crazy. We're about to be with our family for all the holidays. And one thing you want to make sure you do is have your family in a good spot, in a good place, just in case your days on this earth are shortened sooner than what you think. And Policy Genius makes it easy to compare quotes from over a dozen top insurers all in one place. So why should you compare? One, you could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. You could save $1,300 or more per year on life insurance by using Policy Genius to compare policies. The licensed expert at Policy Genius work for you, not the insurance company, so you can trust them to help you navigate every step of the shopping and buying process. It's really easy to get started. First, you head to policygenius.com. In a minute, you can work out how much life insurance coverage you need and compare and personalize quotes to find your best price. And when you're ready to apply, the Policy Genius team will handle the paperwork and scheduling for free. Policy Genius does not add on extra fees, which is I think amazing, because a lot of times when you're getting help from outside like firms, they gon' tax you for that. But Policy Genius is like, no, we're gonna save you money and we're not gonna charge you for it. Head to policygenius.com to get started right now. Policy Genius. When it comes to insurance, it's nice to get it right.
Policy Genius. Thank you. Here's the last thing I want to talk about on this. I hope, well, there's going to be legal action. There's already legal action. Travis is getting sued. Drake, Golden Voice, AEG. Some people are going to get paid out, and rightfully so.
Has AEG responded at all?
I haven't seen any of the promoters.
That's what's going to be tricky.
Because listen, you got the promoter, the production company. There's a lot of liability to go around, especially with the.
Technically, there's more liability on them because at the end of the day, that's
organizers.
Them. Yeah.
Organizers are going. Oh, they gonna get hit. Travis probably. I don't think he'll face any jail time. No, but he's gonna get some fines, civil penalties.
This weekend at Day in Vegas.
Yeah, he pulled out of that,
which is smart.
They pulled him out of Fortnite. His music out of Fortnite. His emote out of Fortnite, and his music out of Fortnite. And he did the concert with Fortnite. He was the first artist to perform in. We were talking about this on the Metaverse thing. He performed as an emote in Fortnite. This is not funny, but funny. Zay just got his hair braided like this. He said he went to school and he was like, "This is not Travis Scott. I happened to get this because I like this style."
He was like,
my cousin had this. I got this because my cousin. Okay, my cousin had this.
They're like, "But it's your cousin Travis Scott." No, it's not.
His hair's long, man. I saw those braids. I was like, "Hey, man, how'd they get that long?"
This dude is living his life right now. I'm
he get his hair done more than I do.
Isaiah be texting, is the braider available? 'Cause he's at the age where I got to be fresh. Every 2 weeks.
I'm not mad.
He never had the same style twice. I told him to get his hair braided forward. Nobody's pulled that off.
Because they shouldn't.
Go back to front.
Amber won't do it, but he better stop trying to take my appointments. I'll be like, listen, that little boy is fine. Tell him wash his hair and work curly. Braid me up. I'm on tour.
My Melissa boy, they be setting it up. He have his little do-rag on at night. I say, you ain't black.
Yes, I am. Black and wealthy.
But go ahead, Angel.
I would say if for somebody like a Travis Scott, if this is the nature in which you want to run your concerts where people feel free to be wild, you got to do tiny venues with small amounts of people.
That's
It's got
worse.
to be I'm talking about like the little jungle gym, the little places that you take kids to tumble at, like little places where it's padded floors, like jump
Little foam
around.
pits.
Yes, Gymboree. That's where he needs to have his concerts. Is in a Gymboree with 5 people. Y'all just
I guarantee
have a blast.
You ain't gonna. Listen. All that energy you had. I hope you. First of all, I'm sad it has come to this.
Yes.
Right.
For people to, especially as young as 14. I got a baby 14. You know, as a parent,
Yeah.
apparently one of the parents was holding their kid up on their shoulders, and he got crushed and passed out, fell, and that's how his kid got hurt. I don't know if that was the kid that passed away, but I'm gonna need you to have these concerts a little bit more better structured.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's plenty of liability to go around. But the promoters and
Absolutely.
the promoters and the production companies who sponsor this, they're the ones that have to get insurance, venue insurance. The artist should have his own separate, but I'm sure these families of the deceased and the injured.
This makes Firefest look like a breeze.
Oh my
Oh.
God! Nobody
In
was
terms
at
of planning.
Firefest.
Right. Everybody was, no, they could have all died of malaria or.
Well, Ja Rule can't get the same energy if people
He's
are
definitely
going.
not. Listen, this is why I'm glad that my kids aren't that into music. They would be like, "Oh, we gonna go see Earth, Wind and Fire?" Because that's the music they know. Ty Trippett, Mary Mary, that's where they would be at. But these festivals, it's just unless I can do VIP where we are sectioned off, where it's easy entrance and exit. The experience of a music festival is just not something that I can see wanting my kids to experience. It's just too much and too many things that are out of our control once you're in there.
Absolutely, and also this reminds me, and thank you, Kat. Keep your distance. You can watch this from home.
Safe.
Thanksgiving and Christmas in your drawers. Okay, I watch Keep Your Distance replays on the toilet. I mean, having the time of my life rewatching the show. Those tickets will be on sale this week, I believe, on the 12th. They'll be on sale on Friday. So get those tickets. Gonna be 2 for $25. We got 14 amazing comedians.
2 for $25.
2 for $25.
What a deal.
What a deal. And also, each show is $20. So you'd be silly to buy just one. We are heavily encouraging you to buy both. It's only a $5 difference.
Smart business decision? I feel like it should be more.
Nah, I'm for the people, man.
All right, I
I'm
respect
not
it.
taxing
So it's
people.
2 for 40?
It's 2 for 25.
25. Listen, Angel, that was why.
2 for 25, guys.
Kevin, don't.
And that's final. No, I'm not taxing the people. Of course, I could charge more. I could charge 30.
Thank God
40,
it's virtual
50.
because you would have 50,000 people
would.
sitting up watching something. Thank God
Stay
they can't
true.
hurt each other.
2 for 25, man. Thanksgiving, Christmas on us. I do want to make this very clear, though, before you let your granny watch it. They finna be cussing in both of them episodes.
Ooh, I want to watch.
That mean big cussing. So if
I'm
your
gonna make
family
sure
ain't
I'm
doing this,
gonna
ain't
sit.
like last year.
I'm going to send Miss Ruthie the link. Yes,
They're
I
gonna
am.
be big cussing in the show. All right, moving on. I thought I wouldn't talk about Kanye no more, but this video, and Josh, you got to put it up. You got to put it up, Josh. Kanye apologized. Let me play you the video of his Easter speech.
This is Jay and Jay Prince. I'm making this video to address the ongoing back and forth between myself and Drake. Both me and Drake have taken shots at each other, and it's time to put it to rest. I'm asking Drake on December 7th to join me on stage as a special guest to share the 2 biggest albums of the year, live in Los Angeles, with the ultimate purpose being to free Larry Hoover. I believe this event will not only bring awareness to our cause, but prove to people everywhere how much more we can accomplish when we lay our pride to the side and come together.
Listen, somebody on Patreon, Atlanta Smoke Shop said, I feel like it was guns in this scene off camera.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yes.
That's how J. Prince moves.
Kanye how old is Kanye? 43, 44?
I would think he's near my age.
Kanye looked like
44.
44?
Yeah.
I need to understand the fear that Jay Prince puts in people. From what we understand, Josh, you're our insider source. The reason Drake didn't clap back at Kanye with his song was because Jay Prince told him not to.
Allegedly. But that's a big allegation to.
Yeah, allegedly, Mr. Prince. We just comedians.
And the thing is, Jay Prince's energy wasn't that of like a bully beside. It was very much so, I'm your daddy and I'll whoop you in front of these people. I will take this belt off and I'm gonna spank you.
And put this hat on with this stupid haircut. You ain't finna stand next to him with your hair looking all dumb. Put that doggone hat on now.
Do it like I told you to do it. That's what it looks like.
Show me that. Jay Prince's Twitter name is Jay Prince Respect. That is his handle. And Kanye respects him. He tweeted, so I met with Kanye West to pass on the message from my brother Larry Hoover, who said he would like to see peace between the two of them. Ye received this well and said thanks because he never had anyone that sat him down and explained things to him the way I did. What did that man say to Kanye?
The fact that he stood there, because he didn't have to be in the video.
He didn't have to
That
be
was
in
big.
the video.
That was big. Hold on. Let me get up. That was big.
Are you Kanye or Jay Prince? Okay.
No, you say the words.
I just
Say the words.
I just wanted to say I'm sorry to Mr.
You
Drake.
had a lot to say when you were talking to your friends online, huh?
Mr. Drake.
Say it louder.
I'm sorry that I said those things to you.
And what else does it say?
Larry Hoover said we need to play outside together as friends and him will get out of jails. Please, Mr. I will say.
Apologize to his mama, too.
To Miss Drake's mom? Or Mr. Hoover's mom?
Drake's mama.
Drake's mom, Mrs. Drake. I'm sorry I said those things about him, and also Pusha T said some stuff.
You said what I put.
I'm sorry that I said those things to you in the rap songs, and I hope that can be friends in a rap concert on December 7th, please.
All right, that's enough. Shut up. Do it again. I'm going to whoop your ass. That was Jay Prince's energy. It was so. I hope I didn't hit you on the back of your head too hard.
You should have sold it more. I was like, this is great. Josh, cut that out. Send it to me at Angel.
That was the energy.
Jay Prince looking forward. Mm-hmm. That's when
That's that daddy energy.
Get that. You know what that was? You've been playing around at that school, ain't you?
Yes.
You've been playing around at that school. Don't let me come. You want to play? Let me come up to that school.
Let me come up here
By
one
the
more
time
time.
your parents have had to leave work
right.
and come up to
risk their job.
Now I'm losing money to deal with. You done played in these.
We gonna have a good time
black
today.
parents hated more than anything in the world is embarrassing the family out in public. Oh, you had a big fun down in Baltimore. You recorded music talking about Drake. What'd I tell you? Kanye, put the hat on and shut that doggone mouth.
Shut up and talk.
Somebody said, who's Jackie?
That was definitely, that was a, who's Jackie? Huh? That's what that was. That was that moment. At the end, Jay Prince had the nerve to say, beautiful. What? Sir, what do you know that we don't know?
Respect from people I like. Everyone seems to respect him. I respect Mr. Prince. Me, Kevin. But it's like Kanye is a billionaire, braggadocious, say all this stuff.
Yes.
When he's standing next to that father figure.
And mind you, this was days after that little Drink Champs podcast.
Yes.
Too.
You just had big fun down on the drinks. Huh? You with Noriega and who's the other dude on Drink Champs?
I don't know.
Is it
I
you,
don't really
bro?
watch. No, I don't think so.
I don't know. But you was over there talking. Okay. Listen, the rap industry.
I didn't know Nori was on Drink Champs. I knew about Drink Champs, but I didn't know he was.
Kanye was on Drink Champs. He
was having a ball.
Why? What? Why would you say that about Big Sean? He said on his tombstone, It's gonna say my biggest mistake was signing Big Sean.
He likes
Is Big Sean not successful? I feel like Big Sean is
very
doing
successful.
well.
Yes.
Successful. I love
Got a great
Big
fan
Sean.
base.
Let me tell you, I love him.
Big Sean is fun. Him and Janae Aiko, they make great music together.
Even when he was
some of
with
my
the-
favorite songs.
Don't do that.
They had a mixtape. What was
Do
it?
that. 2088 or something like
2088.
that.
They was
2088?
They made great music.
Listen, he is an amazing guy. I don't know why Kanye doesn't like him. I just think Kanye likes to ruffle feathers and just say stuff. He's like, yeah, and you know who else I hate? Everyone, myself. Like, he wants to start a beef with himself, I'm sure. If he could, Kanye versus Jay, he would do it.
You just gave him an album idea.
He will do it.
Usher did that too with Raymond versus Raymond.
It's gonna be the Kanye that be singing and then the one that be saying stupid stuff rapping. I don't know why he would say that about
Well,
Big
apparently
Sean.
Patreon is saying he said that because because Big Sean wasn't supporting him during his presidential run.
As a sane person wouldn't.
They switched up. Man, shut up.
A sane person would not do that. I was very shocked at what was his name? Chance. When
The
he
rapper?
He encouraged it. He was like, yeah.
He yelled at him.
Who yelled at who?
Kanye yelled at Chance.
Why he yell at him?
There's a video of him clapping at
When
him.
they was in Wyoming.
Wait a minute. A grown man yelled at another
He
grown
yelled
man?
at Chance
like-
and I didn't like it.
Like, big brother, little brother, I'm checking you.
He yelled at him. That's why your album flopped.
What? He said that?
He yelled that at Chance. And I was like, don't do that to Chance. I love Chance.
Kanye, I don't understand. He knows he is a easy target. There are a lot of things that he has said, a lot of things that he's done that is just like, sir, you are in a glass house that is already shattered. What are you doing? Just be nice. Be nice to everybody.
Oh, yeah, he was mad at John Legend too. He should be nice to everybody.
Why was he mad at John
Because
Legend?
John Legend was like, bro, you are tripping right now. And I think there's a little bit of like, I signed you, put you on type of thing, and therefore I am deserving of your unending loyalty and fealty. And John Legend is like, I'm also grown.
Off the topic, John Legend's skin is buttery. His skin is amazing.
John Legend is 17 years old in the face.
I literally was interviewing him and wanted to slowly but surely touch his face.
His skin looks like his son's. Him and his son look like the same person.
Angel, imagine the camera's his single and you just see a hand
Just
coming
see-
in just out
What
of
is
the
this? I wanted
Like-
to be like, we asking about music stuff, but I wanted to be like, are you vegan? Why is your skin like this? Are you getting Green Chef deliveries? Because that's the only way that your skin should be this beautiful. And yes, Green Chef is a sponsor of today's podcast.
Yeah.
Y'all already know. With this stupid schedule Kevonstage has me on, I have no time to go grocery shopping for my kids. But I'm trying to be a good mother still. So I am loving meal delivery services, and Green Chef is one of them. And this is why I love Green Chef, is because it's plant powered. All right. And for me, as I am on my WW, losing my weight, I am watching some of my carb intake with some of the options that I'm using to eat. They also have keto and paleo options that'll give you premium proteins and vital veggies you need to conquer your day. And everything's pre-portioned, easy to follow recipes delivered right to you. Eating well has never been simpler, and you never worry about having to plan or shop for dinner again. What I love about Green Chef, not just about the quality of the ingredients they send you, but because the recipes are so easy, the kids actually help me cook, which has truly been a really beautiful part of when I get to come back home, is the twins especially. They love to see that I'm about to cook, and they get the ingredients out, and all of the ingredients you need come in the box of the Green Chef stuff. So
Make your life easy.
it makes it so easy. Sometimes, like if I'm like really exhausted because I've been editing or something, I'm able to have my 12-year-old little Marcus like do most of the recipe that, you know, the parts that he can do safely. So it's a great way for not only you to be able to eat healthy, but if you have a family, it is a beautiful part of spending quality time. And Green Chef has made that happen for us. Green Chef is also America's #1 meal kit for eating well, meaning they're the best in meal kit, the best meal kit, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, pescatarian like myself, or you just want to eat more balanced meals. Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh, and with a wider array of meal plans to choose from, there's something for everyone. I love switching between brands, and now our listeners can enjoy both brands at a discount on us. Go to greenchef.com/SK125
SK125
and use code SK125
SK125
to get $125 off, including free shipping. Again, go to greenchef.com/SK125
SK125
and use code SK125
SK125
to get $125 off, including free shipping. The #1 meal kit for eating well. Green Chef, we thank you for sponsoring this podcast.
Amen. Now, this is just an interesting story. This ain't the news. This is Kevonstage personal news. I upset someone down in Oklahoma.
Oh, yes, you did, Kevin.
In Oklahoma.
Yes.
This person came to the show. He was unfamiliar with me prior to coming to this show. He sent some emails over to one of my intake emails.
Point of contacts.
Point of contact.
General.
Somebody on my team. Usually this stuff doesn't get to me, but they were like, "Ooh, you pissed somebody off down in Oklahoma." Usually these go
Down in Bricktown.
Down in Bricktown. So let me read you.
It's such a
Now let me tell you guys too. If you've seen the show, if you've seen me over the last 3 years, the first time you saw me, these jokes were all ages, family friendly. Nobody you worry. We're all friends. Slightly problematic. Even before the pandemic, was a little bit more risque. But everything I'm saying in the show this year is true. If you've seen it. And if you're a Wahite person, it's not, there's some sections that are not particularly glowing for you. But I go at black people too. I go at everybody. Myself, black, Wahites, all that. This guy was unfamiliar with me and he was upset. The subject says racist.
Racist.
Big and bold. It's incredibly offensive, the comedy he betrays. I can take a white joke, haha, but F him. Calling out white folks that haven't left yet after his racist remarks against white people. Saw him the next morning when he was getting breakfast. He's lucky he didn't get his beat for the stupid stuff he portrays. Terrible. His grown kid has to be taught racism against white people.
Oh my God.
This was the worst experience ever.
Terrible.
We got engaged before seeing this show and was brutally shocked by her performance. Your amp up guy was funnier than you. Shouts out to Tahir.
I know.
You're the real winner here, Ty Ty.
Yeah. Tahir sent it.
Big fan. Hilarious.
You're the problem with the work. Racist as F. He said, now here's the funny part. When you email me to this email address, you get a auto reply.
Hilarious.
He thought that was the response. He responded to that email and said, "You are racist and spew terrible things. You and the racist wife are passing on the worst lessons." I don't know who the racist wife is.
I was like, I'm not the racist wife. And I don't even, well, maybe because I do say something like I want all the white people on, but I say I want their money too.
So you might be the racist wife. Yeah, man. Tahir again. Tahir and Josh.
Tahir won. I don't know how I got a spear in my chest.
And his last one was, listen, I'd highly recommend someone contact me. My entire company of over 300 people will be reviewing him on Google in a negative manner.
I wonder if they started it. I want to try and find it.
I don't know.
Where would
now,
they?
here's the dumb thing.
Where would they Google
for
review
him? He has his whole email in here, his whole company, his whole stuff. I'm not gonna dox him. I'm not gonna share none of that stuff.
Kevin's
you guys can
not
forget
gonna do
about
it.
it. This is not that. Josh pulled him up on LinkedIn.
Oh, it was easy to find.
Let me tell you, I would have loved for him to interrupt my breakfast and challenge me to a fight. Now y'all know, okay? My son don't think I could beat up Marcus or Greg. If I showed you the picture of this gentleman, it will let you know why he decided to just sit down and eat them pancakes.
I wish you would.
Now, please believe, I may come off goofy and all that, but I am 6'1", 260 pounds.
Do I?
And I will fight to defend myself. So.
And his racist wife.
And you would have had a plate of chicken fried steak across the head if you would have came up with the body type he had, sir. Go and sit down and order these hash browns and hush. Go and sit down. Now listen, I ain't no fighter.
And happy
but I ain't no punk either.
Right.
Trust me. I ain't been in a fight a long time now. Afterwards, I probably would have had to soak in some Epsom salt.
You gonna be sore. You gonna be sore.
But I guarantee you, he looked at me and was like, "Hey, he looked bigger in real life from the stage."
Try Jesus.
But let me tell you why yeah, I'm saying, but I got hands. Listen, I'm a big boy if nothing else. And I have one rule in fighting. You won't get the first lick off. Okay?
No.
If
Not
I
gonna
feel
wait.
like,
The amount
listen,
of time it would have taken for him to approach.
let me tell you, if I feel like there's going to be a problem, the one thing you won't do is hit me first. Hey, what's up? Pow! Oh, snap. We're fighting? Yes.
We're fighting?
We're now fighting.
I
You
just
know
went
you
ahead
can
and started
sense
it.
fight energy.
Yeah.
We're not going to do a whole bunch of time. We ain't in
We're
middle
not
school.
gonna do this dance.
Ain't going to be no hit me first. And my mama ain't here. You going to have to take the first. And I'm leaning
mama
with.
ain't here.
Leaning on the everlasting arm. Oh, I'm leaning with everything I got.
Yes.
That first punch got us. And listen, when I was one thing my brother taught me. Listen, you hit somebody in the nose, and you punch through their whole face. You know when you get hit in the nose, your eyes water
Immediately.
You gonna have to get up. Now your fiance is questioning some things.
Your new fiance.
New fiance.
Congratulations.
This is day one.
And this because you interrupted my breakfast with these runny eggs.
And now
I'm
your
already
nose
on
is bleeding.
10.
No.
And now your nose is bleeding. But here's the thing, and listen, white people, if you've seen this show, you guys got to take some licks. But none of this stuff is just made.
It's one lick.
It's not even.
That's
No,
literally it.
it's not a lick. It's not a lick. It's literally specific people that you talk about. It's not a huge. You literally list specific names. It's not like, white people are stupid. Everybody,
right.
It's not that. It's not that type of ordeal. It is.
Nothing
Here
offensive
is
about it.
No, you want to take some
Observation.
medicine. And listen, people saying Kev gonna hurt his shoulder. My bad shoulder is my left hand, my left one. I'm right-handed.
He's like, I'll hurt both shoulders, but you gonna be hurt too.
Kev finishes that fight like.
What was that? Was that King Kong who hit the thing and tried to put his shoulder back into play? Listen, and the thing is, if you don't know who I am, I talk about Black Lives Matter. I talk about European beauty standards. There's a lot in that show, and it is purposely not just all ages, right? And I might go right back to all ages next year, right? I probably will, not because of this. I was already working on the next year's show. But I think as an artist, to me, I would rather you be pissed at me to the point where you are emailing a robot and responding. And the thing is, like, the reason I don't want to dox him, he doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, Kevin's not going to dox him.
I wouldn't even have to dox him to the whole world.
Right.
Right. If the Patreon knew who this was, it would be bad for you. And I'm not even going to do that because you have the right to be upset.
Right.
You can be pissed. You can email. As long as you don't try to physically hurt me, like harm me,
right?
Be upset.
But he was going to physically harm you. He was letting his hash browns digest.
And I was right at the front door of the restaurant. If you felt away.
Right.
I was right there.
You could have said something.
That's his name? Why would you say that?
Huh? Is that his name? What'd I say?
Josh, cut it out.
I don't think it is it?
Josh.
I don't think so.
I was trying to let you rock, Kevin.
Is that his name?
Yes, woman.
What? You know I don't remember people's names.
You
Kevin.
you remember the name?
What?
Don't say the last name, Angel.
What? Now let me see. Is that his name?
Yes, girl.
Y'all look. Is that his name?
I'm looking right now.
Take it out, Josh.
Hold
No,
on.
it's
I'm gonna
not.
see.
No, it's not.
Let's
No, it's
see.
not.
No, it's
How
not.
do you pronounce his last name though?
Turn it off. Josh.
I'll let y'all know in my Patreon if I was right or not.
But really, Josh, just for legal reasons.
He's like, do not leave it in there.
Josh, look me in my eyes. I need a verbal confirmation like the exit row. Do you understand?
I don't know if that's his name or not.
So
No.
anyway, come see me, and you can be the judge of if this mystery
Come.
person was right or not. And the other thing is, let me tell you guys, I don't travel alone anymore.
That was my biggest thing.
Let
I
me
was
let
like,
you know, I don't travel alone anymore. So I don't have to fight.
You don't.
I won't be fighting.
You don't.
There are people on payroll whose sole job is to make sure I'm not hurt. You might not even see them sitting with me if I'm eating lunch, breakfast. You might think I'm alone, but come on.
Come on.
I'm never alone.
Never.
Even if I sit, even if it looks like I'm walking in the street alone, I'm never alone.
Never.
So you might walk up. And you know that little blinking thing on TikTok where the people wake up and the people
Yes.
You might, hey man, I didn't like that. I'm sorry. What happened? Oh yeah, you done crossed over. You didn't see.
You didn't see.
There was a person eating
That
at a table
bear.
near me. So don't think. Listen, after somebody rushed the stage on Gary Owen and rushed the stage on DC Young Fly knocked him out. I was like, that ain't my testimony. Okay, I'm not gonna be. I don't even want to be in that position.
Right.
To have to hurt somebody. Come on with me on the road.
Yeah, come on.
Come on
What
and
you
sit down
doing?
with
come
me.
On, Big
Come on and sit. Come on. All you got to do is come over here and be big.
This
Yes,
Kev, this I
baby.
know you got shooters for real. Someone's like, Kev, we ain't got to be on payroll.
Listen. And that's the thing. And just let me let you know, the people that are with me, they like the violence. They do.
like it.
They do truly enjoy the violence.
They are like a
They enjoy the violence.
They don't
And
gotta pop
they
the
say
trunk if
stuff
they're
like, hey
licensed.
man, Kev, we ain't really never get no action. You know, because most of your audience is cool. Most of our shows, I'd say 95% of the people, especially in our strong markets, are people who are stage crew or are fans. It's very rare that people are just like, oh yeah, I'm just coming to the comedy show. Except in like Salt Lake City and Oklahoma City, there's probably 50 to 100 seats that are people who just pull up to the comedy club. But it's not a lot. So just know you might more than likely will be regretting that decision.
Yes.
If you come to me
so
at
much.
this now, years ago, you might have been able to see me one-on-one.
Right.
I don't listen. There's too much riding on my safety.
No, truly, it's
I'm not by myself.
Listen, there's way too much riding.
I'm not
Kev's
by
safety.
myself.
Even
Trust
if
me.
you were by yourself, one of us were there.
Right.
Listen,
What is not about to happen is that I'm going home and you just got stomped in the ground. We all had to fight. Is what had to happen.
If nothing else, you got a black woman from Baltimore and a Latinx.
Listen, my paycheck is connected to you.
That's
You
what
have to
I'm
be
saying.
able to get on stage.
hello.
Okay?
My
I
car
only
note
got to do
is due
15.
next week.
Exactly.
What's not going to be interrupted is this payment.
I can do 15 with a black eye. I don't know if you can do 45 with one. So you gonna make it in to here, and now he might have to take a couple
Oh
plunges.
man, Tahir
bless his
has
heart.
guns on his back
He stays
at all
strapped.
times.
But what
Stay
is that
strapped.
going to do? He's just going to turn around and fart towards him. That's not going to do nothing.
So trust me, I'm not alone. I would for your safety, you go and eat your hash browns. You don't rush the stage. You don't come into the green room. We literally had, and this is the other reason we got security. One of our first shows, remember this, Josh? Me and Josh was in the green room.
I was in there with y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Boston?
No.
No, this is
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake.
Oh, okay. Because Boston too.
Boston, too.
But
No, they didn't make
They didn't make it
inside
in.
the door.
The
This
person in
dude,
Salt Lake came in the dressing
this
room.
guy was like,
Literally just
Hello,
opened
can I
the
get a
door.
photo? I was like,
We thought the door was locked.
Oh,
It didn't lock. In Boston, they tried to break in.
No, Boston, they made it all the way down. They saw my face and then went into the bathroom instead. And I was like, they supposed to be, that's our bathroom. Why are there people in our bathroom?
Yeah, no. So in Salt Lake, and he was a fan, but again,
It's still.
Josh was like, Kev, what if he was tripping?
I
was
thought
like,
he knew you. That's
No,
why I
he
let
did it.
because he was moving with like, oh, you know, such and such and such and such.
Yeah.
And usually, most of the times when that happens, you do know.
So
said
now
person,
there's a
but-
large person near the door whose whole job is to make sure you don't get to come in there.
Yeah.
So anyway, Patreon, I want to say Thursday. We haven't talked about it, but we basically been doing Thursdays for bonus episodes.
Okay, so we're doing Thursday.
I'm throwing it
I'm
out
not
there.
mad at that. I mean, we're taking the
And we're taking the
equipment
gear
away.
out anyway.
We're taking the
And we got to
equipment
do
anyway.
the Married at First Sight, so we might as well do both.
Thursday.
Thursday, and then we can just do the rest. So Patreon will more than likely see you Thursday, tentatively on Thursday. Come see us for this show. I joke a lot about where I'm not coming next year, but I can tell you guys without a shadow of a doubt, there's no way on God's green earth I ever tour this many cities in my life again.
Okay.
Never. Okay. I know I had so many, and then Angel was like, Kev, we gotta have more.
Is that what I said? I was like, oh my God, I never want to see my family again.
I was surprised.
I have no other career.
I was genuinely surprised when I asked about, so we're not working that Sunday in Atlanta.
Yeah, I was too.
Y'all know they've been asking me to add. They wanted me to add Atlanta every day of that week, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. I was like, bro, it's enough.
You
We'll come back.
understand how terrible my set would be by the end? I would be cussing the entire time. There would not, every other
Just
word
doing
would be a
crowd
cuss
work
word
the whole time.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, what's up with you? How you doing?
A lot of people are asking us to do the Harder They Fall review. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I'm going to watch it with Melissa and the boys probably on Thursday. So I don't know if we'll be done by the
Talk about
time
on
we
the
shoot it.
Oh, you watching on Thursday?
Yeah, I
we
think
can do
I'm-
next week's bonus.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
I'll make sure I watch
That'd be
it.
an easy one too.
Yeah. And I'm excited about it. But I would love to. I don't think my kids have ever seen a Western. And they definitely ain't seen a Western with black people.
Yes.
I heard
And my guy,
the
right,
music's
RJ
fire,
Seiler is in there. I don't know him personally. I just love
know
him.
RJ?
No, I don't
He
know him
doesn't
personally.
know
You know
him.
him?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yes.
Introduce me.
Easy.
He's from the
shot
Meet Earl and the Dying Girl.
I shot a short film with him.
Really?
Josh should be
Shouts to
knowing
Prop.
everybody.
And Regina King, who is,
Amazing.
I mean, we are lucky to have seen her
Let me be clear about
Grow
that.
our
up.
whole
I do not know
life.
her. I do not know her.
I've met Regina. She's nice. And her sister.
That's what Angel is our Regina King.
Listen, I wish one day, if I could just have a glimpse of her career.
Okay, cut it off here. I want to talk to Patreon in 1 second. Go
And
ahead.
real quick, people, we could do that for Patreon.
Here's another banger for you. Here's another one. Yeah. Here's another banger for you. Here's another one. Yeah. Here's another banger for you. Here's another banger for you. With my boy Kevonstage and that chick Angel.